Welcome back. General Motors' fourth CEO in 18 months has two very big jobs ahead of him. Dan Akerson has to continue the turnaround started by the man that he's succeeding, at Whitacre, and he also has to be GM's public face as the automaker prepares for public offering. Joining us now from Boston with some perspective is Rebecca Lindland. She's director of IHS Automotive Research. Good morning to you. These headlines really took many by surprise that we would see an executive reshuffling ahead of an IPO at a time of such uncertainty with the markets and with the economy. But tell me, what do you think Dan Akerson can do in this position? He knows private equity. He knows telecom. What does he know about autos?
Right. Well, good morning, Margaret, and thanks for having me on again. You know, it's really quizzical, and I was hoping that over the course of the 24 hours almost since we've heard this, that more perspective would be provided, more guidance, but we really haven't seen anything. GM really isn't talking very much. The general understanding is that this was about succession, that everyone knew that Ed Whitacre was a short-term CEO, and he hasn't made that a secret, and they're hoping to provide some comfort to investors and to Wall Street by having a known manager now in place, so that the CEO is there from the right before they put out the IPO and then through for the next 3 to 5 years is the estimate. Mm-hmm. That's the plan that we're hearing.
Well, with the public offering, our own Jeff McCracken yesterday on this program was saying perhaps the IPO filing would be put off to next week. Is that what you're expecting?
You know, it's hard to say. I heard Jeff's report as well. It's tough to say because I don't want anything to sort of jeopardize that announcement. And so everyone's kind of expecting it today, maybe Monday. So I hope that it's not misinterpreted as some kind of uncertainty within the company. So the timing of this announcement just continues to be a curiosity. Again, the story is that it's to stabilize the IPO, and yet it just seems like a lot of people aren't really buying that story.
Mm-hmm. But the read on the executive reshuffle, you would view that as setting the table for the IPO?
That's the story. They're sticking to it.
Yeah.
I don't know that everyone necessarily believes that. You know, this IPO is so important to the company. They have to have it fully subscribed. It's their ticket out of government ownership. Everyone wants this to be a success. There's really smart people making these kinds of decisions. So it seems like that, you know, they've got some kind of strategy, but a little bit more transparency, I think, would help as well.
Now, you know, it's been bandied about that reducing the government stake would somehow change the perception in consumers' minds about the health of the company and the products that they are making. Industry-wide, what does a public GM actually do to Ford, to its competitors?
Well, they are making some really solid products. I've been really impressed with the vehicles that I've driven recently. So I will say that their product lineup is really, really greatly improved. I think that the perception certainly is that, you know, for people that are upset about the fact that they took taxpayer money, getting a repayment is a huge benefit and really would go a long way towards putting this company back on the track of just a regular publicly traded company that it really needs to be again.
Mm-hmm. All right. Rebecca, I appreciate your perspective on the industry, on the company, as we wait and see just when this IPO listing, or filing rather, does happen. I appreciate it.